elected by my peers here at the board. Happy New Year. I'm glad to see everyone here tonight. Ms. Charles is sick, our Vice President-elect, so she will not be present tonight, but she may be watching via the telecast or streaming. Next to my right.
Betty Robinson, Board Secretary.
Michael Poole, Board Treasurer.
Nathaniel Lewis, Board Trustee.
Gerald B. Joyce, Board Trustee.
Dr. Smith, Board Trustee. Linda Wood, Superintendent. Debbie Trapp, Associate Superintendent for Administrative Services.
Pam Bowley, Director of Legal and Labor Affairs.
Paula Lightsey, Interim Associate Superintendent of Instruction.
And we also have taken the minutes for tonight, Ms. Nicole Christian, and Ms. Paulette Anderson will be handling some of our media. On audio, we have Jeff Wolka, and on video, we have Peter Putnam. I'd like to take the point of personal privilege at a moment and recognize all these elected city officials in the audience. Would you please stand when I call your name? Ms. Kelly Garrett, President Pro Tem, Lathrop Village. Okay, she may have left, but she was here. Appreciate her coming out tonight. Mr. Myron Frazier from the Southfield City Council. Ms. Myron, coming out. Was there anyone else? Hold on. Yeah. But I want to say just that. Okay. I would also like to recognize former board members, Ms. Fern Katz. Thank you for coming out tonight. Ms. Julie Fulton, please stand and recognize. Thank you for coming out. My fellow alumni from Kentucky State University, Mr. James Jackson. And now, I'll introduce the Honorable Judge Deborah Nance from the 46th District Court. She is here to officiate the oath of office for the following trustees. When I call your name, would you take your position? Mr. Darrell Joyce, Mr. Michael Poole, Ms. Betty Robinson, and Ms. Leslie Love Smith.
Good evening, and thank you, President Williams, and to the members of the board, and good evening to those of you in the audience. I'm Judge Nance of the 46th District Court here in Southfield, and I'm pleased and delighted, actually really delighted, to deliver the oath of office to re-elected and newly elected Southfield Public School Board trustees. Taking the oath of office is much more than a mere formality that adds to the pageantry of a new commissioning or an investment ceremony. It actually provides the necessary foundation for leadership positions. According to one reference, an oath is a solemn appeal before witnesses of the truth of a statement or the sincerity of a promise, coupled with a prayer to invoke divine judgment in the event of a falsehood or breach of the obligations that one has sworn to uphold. Moreover, not to be taken lightly, an oath signifies a public statement of a personal commitment. Are you ready for your oath? Yes. Ms. Robinson, please step forward. Raise your right hand, and please repeat after me and state your name. I, Betty Robinson, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States, and the Constitution of this state, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of member of the Board of Education of Southfield Public Schools, according to the best of my ability.
the best of my ability.
Thank you. Mr. Poole, are you ready for your oath?
Yes, I have some witnesses I'd like to step forward.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I
Michael Poole,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this state,
and the Constitution of this state,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of member of the Board of Education of Southfield Public Schools,
of member of the Board of Education of Southfield Public Schools,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Thank you. Mr. Joyce, are you ready for your oath?
Yes.
Please step forward. Raise your right hand, and please repeat after me. I
I, Gerald B. Joyce,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear and affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this state,
and the Constitution of this state,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of member of the Board of Education of Southfield Public
of member
Schools,
of the Board of Education of Southfield Public Schools,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Thank you, Mrs. Smith. Please step forward, Ms. Smith. And are you ready for your oath? Raise your right hand, and please repeat after me. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this state, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of member of the Board of Education of Southfield Public Schools, according to the best of my ability. Thank you, Ms. Smith. My best wishes to all of you for a successful term of office. Let's give them. Thank you.
Judge Mance, I'd like to thank you for that.
You're very welcome.
Very much appreciate it, and your words hopefully will be taken not lightly by the newly elected members, Mr. Joyce and Ms. Smith, for 4 years, and our re-elected members, Ms. Robinson, and Mr. McAfee. We thank the community for the vote of confidence, and you have the right team for the right time. Thank you. And with that, we're moving to staff and student recognition. First person we'd like to recognize is Mychelle Martin, who was recently recognized for her work at Stevenson Elementary. Ms. Martin, please come forward.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I wanted to share with you my experience with a program called Donors Choose, here on the screen. It's a website that offers teachers an opportunity to fund projects that they have for their classroom. Teachers submit projects along with their material needs to this site, and then there are donors who actually take a look at the site from time to time, and they decide whether or not they would like to fund the project of those particular teachers. Just this August, I decided that I would try to fund a program, or have a program funded. And, do I have that? Okay. And this is a program that I have. It's called Meaningful Moments, and the whole idea was to help children remember the moments that they have in elementary school. So often we just live day by day, and the thoughts that we have or the memories that we have are gone after a time. So what I wanted was for them to have an opportunity to take pictures of the things that we do together in the class and then to write about it. So I requested that we get 3 cameras, 3 digital cameras with cases, and also 3 wireless keyboards that we can use for our iPads in school. And fortunately, within a month, I was totally funded. First, the NEA let me know that they would match any donation, and then Google Detroit came through and they just funded the rest of it. And so it was awesome. We had everything that we needed very quickly. And so the first thing that we did once we got our cameras, I'm sorry, I'm trying to work this thing. Okay. These are the, this is the camera and the case, the memory cards, and the wireless keyboard. So the first thing that we did was to actually go outside and take some pictures around their school, because I wanted the students to all be aware of how to use the cameras. And this student really surprised me. Very good eye for balance in that picture. Then we started to take pictures of the things that were going on in our classroom. Scholastic had a webcast with Usher, and it was called Bigger Than Words, and it was to promote reading in school. And so they were so excited. Usher talked about it, and then all of a sudden he sang it, so they danced a little bit. And then Cool Kids Code. We took pictures as the students were learning how to code computers through a website called code.org. And then we had parents come in for a professional week, and we had this one mother. Now, she's not doing card tricks. She actually is a manager, floor manager at one of the casinos in Detroit. And what she was teaching them was the importance of mental math. And so she would lay those cards out, and she's, okay, what you got? And at first they were like, what? And then after a while they picked it up, and they did very well. The next one that I have is a picture of us taking measurements with angles. It was a long lesson. It was great on learning how to measure angles. And then these are the students who actually completed the Hour of Code program through code.org. Finally, I want to share with you that there are other teachers here in Southfield who are also taking advantage of Donors Choose. Mrs. Bargardi from Southfield High, she has a project here that still needs funding, so if you have an opportunity and you would like to offer some funding, please go to the website. You'll be able to take a look at her. And then also at University High, Mrs. Nava has a program as well. So I just wanted to share this information with you about Donors Choose. And if you know some teachers who have ideas for projects that they would like funded, something beyond what the district normally does, please share this with them. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Next, Ms. Lori List was recently recognized for her work at Thompson K-8 International Academy. Please come to the podium, Ms. List.
As they said, my name is Lori List, and I'm in my 24th year teaching at Thompson. And one of the things that I've always tried to do is find a way to get the students to read more. And I thought, how do I get books into the hands of students? And I've tried lots of different things. I've used Scholastic book orders monthly. Those of you who have ever been to my classroom know I have about 7,000 books, literally, lining the walls of my classroom. Anything from donations to bonus points. But something that I always kept in mind was the fact that students who own books are better readers than students who borrow books. There's a statistic that supports that. And I thought, how can I let these books be in kids' hands? Well, that is when I discovered an organization called First Book. It is a charitable organization that provides books for students in need of books. Whatever that qualification or classification means, puts books in kids' hands. And I thought, well, I'll try this. And that was about 3 years ago, the first time I did this. And this is just an example of what we ended up with this year. I went online, I filled out the application for the grant, I discussed my students, I discussed their interests, I discussed what they would use the books for and why they needed them. And little did I know what was going to come in the mail. 47 boxes of books arrived. Compliments of the Disney Publishing Company. Yes. And each student this year is taking home between 9 and 15 books to keep for themselves. And we've set some out here so that you and the board members can take a look at them. And as you can see, these are not leftover books. These are really nice books that the kids are really interested in. As a matter of fact, we just started book reports today, and I was really surprised how many kids selected these books for their book reports. That made me very happy. First Book, if you're interested, teachers in the audience, is offering grants throughout the year. They have about 4 or 5 offerings a year. And they actually won a National Book Award this year for the Outstanding Charitable Organization for Young People. So I would like to thank First Book and Disney. And I would like to introduce to you one of my students. His name is Daryl Thomas. And he would like to talk to you about some of his thoughts about getting some books and about reading in general.
As a 6th grader, I like getting fresh new books in class. I like each with different plots, characters, and settings. That is what I like about books. Each one expands your imagination. Just the difference is each one, with your expanded imagination, fills things with more people, places, and different items that you have just imagined. See, getting free books is basically like free knowledge or a whole other world of imagination just in the palm of your hand. Books are a beneficial part of life. Kids use them in school, adults sometimes at work, or sometimes when we just need to kill some time. My school is an IB school, so we need those books because we're international. We are with the world and the people that inhabit it. We use those books for a gateway. Into the world, and basically, it's our ability, that's the key, our ability to read the different books that we are able to read to find that new world and explore it and just everything that's in it. And I know that kids want and need to see these new places, to see the world's wonders. And those are my ideas, what I think about reading and getting these new books just in class. I felt excited to get these books for free, the several books, because we got this opportunity to get all of these books just for free. We didn't have to pay for them. The company gave us this grant to give us all these books, this honor to have all these books and read them all, get the new knowledge. And some kids did not take all of the books. I kind of felt like this opportunity you had, you took maybe 1 or 2 books. You could have taken them all, to donate them, give them to a family member that didn't get this choice, this opportunity yet. Or this family member may never get this opportunity yet, actually. So it would be a very good idea to donate it or give it off to somebody else. And those are my feelings, my ideas of getting these new books, reading them, waiting for this new world to it's just waiting there for me to come, reading these new books. So that's it.
I just want to let you know that Daryl found out that he was going to be talking tonight about 4 hours ago. So I think you did a wonderful job. And then we also have a couple of my other students, India Beeman and Angela Rurum, who are here to showcase some of the books as well. So thank you so much, and again, it's first book. I encourage you to go, and if you're a teacher, get books for your class and open the world to them.
I was going to say something, Daryl, but you took the words out of my mouth, and I think you said it best. Move on. Are your parents here? Are any of the parents here?
And I have to say that Mrs. Lightsey used to be his principal as well. She was an awesome principal.
That's what we're all about. We're a family. The following teachers received National Board Teaching Certification. Would you come to the podium as I call your name? Therese Geis, Vandenberg World Cultures Academy. Sally Nehru, Vandenberg World Culture Academy. Angela Taylor, Gloucester, Division of Curriculum and Instruction. Stephanie Zachary, Grace Ledley, K-8 Schools. And Dr. Wood will give us some more information.
I certainly will. I'm just so proud of all 4 of our ladies that are here this evening. And I have to tell the audience that I've been on a journey with all of them over the last few years as they have gone through Take 1, which is what 300 teachers in our district have also partaken. But also, they wanted to move into another higher level of certification. Actually, National Board Certification is the highest level of certification that can be achieved in our country for teachers on their own. It is not affiliated with a university, but it is affiliated with a national organization where the teachers have a certificate that gives them a higher level of understanding and placement across the country. They are engaged in tests of the content. They have to demonstrate writing and their writing samples. They have to demonstrate an understanding of how to meet the needs of all children. They have to also be able to take and reflect on their practice. They are videotaping themselves and analyzing their teaching and submitting analysis to an outside panel for review. They're doing some real grueling work. And I have to say, again, I am so very proud of you. And I have to also share, because, it's part of who I am. I like building relationships with our staff, and I know all 4 of them. And Sally, when she opened her email, it was probably around 12 o'clock at night in the morning, and she contacted me right then because she was so excited and so pleased. They all are, and I've shared stories about Angela, and I've shared stories about Ms. Zachary and how they are doing such tremendous work as teachers. And we have many teachers in our district. We have teachers that are moving forward with National Board Certification. We have teachers, as I said, that over 300 have engaged in that whole process of Take 1, which is the first step. And so as a district, I want to make sure that we continually elevate, support, encourage. And as a district, our board has publicly and negotiated into our contract that every teacher who goes through all of this will receive a stipend of $3,000 for that level of work and certification. So I want to thank you all. And I also want to give you an opportunity to share a little bit, any reflections? I know you reflected a lot. That you'd like to share, any of you?
Good evening. I am Stephanie Zachary, and I must say I completed it kicking and screaming. At first I did the take one as asked by the district, so I completed that, and then when it came to the next part, I said, I'm not doing it. I am not doing it. Too much work. And as I started reading through it, I said, well, I did the first part, so I might as well just go ahead and go for the gusto. And I did, and it was a very long and grueling process. I did not have a vacation. We spent Easter breaks and Christmas breaks and Thanksgiving breaks. You are sitting in the library. So, but it was all worth it. It was really, really great to be able to sit and evaluate myself, because we know self-evaluation is always the key to success. So that is what I did. I am happy for it, and I'm better for it, and it's better for my students as well. As a matter of fact, I got, my area was language arts and writing. And I am late because my student, one of my fourth grade students, was the winner of the Martin Luther King essay contest. So he just finished his essay. And I'm just full of joy, and it was worth it. And I thank the district for the support of all teachers and better in their education. Thank you.
Good afternoon or good evening. I'm Angela Gloucester. I think I know quite a few of you guys. National Board Certification was the greatest form of professional development I've ever received. When you reflect on your own teaching, it's nothing like videotaping yourself and watching yourself. And I grew tremendously as an educator by going through this process. I began with Take One, and immediately I knew, after doing Take One, I told Dr. Wood, I said, I want to do the whole process. And the first year, I didn't have funding, but I applied for a grant. And the full certification process at that time was $2,500. And National Board was giving out $750 grants. So I applied the very last day that you could apply. And I never heard anything. So one day I was at home and my doorbell rang. And a National Board certification box was delivered. And I called National Board and I said, you guys delivered a portfolio box to me, but I never paid for the certification process. I just paid the $65 registration fee. So how can I send this box back? And they said to me, let me check my records. And they came back and they said, ma'am, you've been awarded a full $2,500 scholarship. I was just tremendously elated because that has never happened. And I'm just going through the process, working with these ladies. Like Stephanie said, we spent hours meeting at Barnes & Noble, meeting at the library. You know those carts that teachers have with books and supplies? One day I was walking in the library, and I had one of the big carts, and my cart was filled with books, materials, research. And a guy looked at me and said, are you studying for your doctorate? And, I said no, but I felt like I was. National Board certification, you just grow tremendously as an educator, and I'm so grateful for the support and for the opportunity to go through that process.
I'm Teresa Dice. I'm currently at Mychelle Elementary, and I just want to thank the district administrators for encouraging us to do this. Of course, when we first did it, we were all on board with Take One, and then after Take One was finished, and it was a 15-page paper and a video and constant reflecting, and you're turning it into an electronic device. You have no feedback from where you're sending it. You just hope for the best, and you send it in April, and we did not receive our scores until November. So it's a long process. We started it in 2010. And with just thanks for the encouragement from admin and the board for the stipend and for encouraging us to do it. Thank you.
It's long, but I just want to say thank you as well. And I just had a baby 3 months ago. I was pregnant both times, during the whole process, 2 times. I can imagine taking a test, writing, eating. The good thing is I could eat, it wouldn't show. But thank the board, Dr. Wood, staff, Vandenberg rocks, and of course my family isn't here, but they really, really, really helped me throughout the whole process. Through all the pain and the crying, and no sleep. So thank you all. Thank you.
A doctoral program. But I'm just going to add one quick comment too, that the reason why I have encouraged the whole process of National Board, the reason I am so supportive of the reflection, the videotaping, the analysis, is because each one of them changed their practice. And when I also was a teacher, I was also an opportunity with U of M to be videotaped 3 times a week over a period of time. It changed my practice. It's the reflection, it's the conversation, it's the analysis, and that is what I want as teachers, as administrators, as adults in the lives of children, to model that level of excellence, to model that level of pursuit, and I'm just grateful and I'm thankful, and your children are being better served by you. And we have many other teachers that are on the same road, many other teachers that may not have taken Take One, but they have that spirit of understanding of we continually grow, become better, and pursue excellence in our work. Thank you.
Once again, once again, we want to thank you for your sacrifice, not only for the work you have done, but also for the sacrifice of helping us to groom our future leaders here in the city. Once again, get some rest now. Thanks once again.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You got to enjoy Christmas break.
You want to come in?
Thank you.
Sally? Come on.
Come on in.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
And to keep the process moving, we will now have a report of our school board representatives. Ms. Shana Hodge from Southfield Regional Academic Campus will be first.
Good evening, board members. Superintendent Dr. Linda Wood, Central Office staff and administrators, Southfield School staff, parents, students, and guests. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I would also like to say before I begin, congratulations to your re-election and election for the Board of Education. And my name is Shana Hodge, and I am the student board member from Southfield Regional Academic Campus. On December 16th, Mrs. Sonia Johnson, Mr. Solomon, and Mr. Robinson took 20 STEM Club members to Battle Creek, Michigan to tour dental manufacturing facilities. The trip also included a tour of Kellogg Community College. From this experience, students were able to make a connection between their involvement in STEM Club, college, and related careers. Our school counselors, Mrs. Hinsman and Mrs. Gales, guided students through an IM project during the week of December 15th.
As part of our strengths-based school counseling program, students wrote affirmation statements to help create balance in their lives during a potentially stressful season. We would like to recognize Ms. Fulfaherd, a guest substitute in our building, for bringing in for all of her students. We appreciate her efforts to connect with our students. On December 19th, Mrs. Hisman and Mrs. Gales delivered 190 Christmas cards written by the Principal's Leadership Council to the residents at Meadowlodge Nursing Home. Mr. Bolger motivated students to participate in the canned food drive. I'm proud to announce that Gleaner's Food Bank of Southeastern Michigan picked up 298 pounds of assorted food. This generous gift will provide approximately 248 meals to our hungry neighbors in need. Thank you, Mr. Bolger, for encouraging our students to help others. Mrs. McNeese, a published artist and art teacher at Southfield Regional Academic Campus, recognized Khalil Hughes' artistic talent. To facilitate Khalil's talent, Mrs. McNeese created an art studio within her classroom for Khalil to work on his portfolio and scholarship competition. To date, Khalil Hughes has been awarded over $800 in artwork he has produced. Most recently, Khalil took first place for the 2014 Michigan Paris is for a Lifetime poster contest and the National No Kids Hungry Art and Writing Contest. On January 9th, Mrs. Echo Johnson received notification that 4 students were accepted for the poetry publication, The Creative Communication. Our published writers are Christina Lyles, Dana Spears, Kayla Smith-Bay, and DeAntoinette Jones. Please note that this is Kayla Smith-Bay's second published work. Congratulations to all our talented writers. The Aspire Academy is an 8th grade program located within our building. We have evidence that our Aspire students are motivated to bring about a change in his or her life through their increased participation in the C2 Pipeline after-school program and participating in the essay contest. I would like to share with you that each morning since the first day of school, I have announced over the PA a metaphor and or quote of the day. As a result, students and staff have been inspired to inspire others with their inspirational quote of the day. In closing, I would like to leave with you a quote. When your values are clear to you, making decisions becomes easier. By Roy Disney. Have a good evening and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Young Richardson from Southfield Regional High School.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
My name is Brianna Richardson, and I'm here to speak on behalf of the Southfield Laser Chargers. I've been out the last 2 meetings due to my attendance of 2 DECA conferences, and I'm truly delighted to be back in you all's presence. I want to say that this month, the seniors are extremely excited. They are all receiving college acceptance letters. I'm proud to say that I was accepted into Howard University, and I plan on attending. This month, one of our freshmen, Taylor Tonius, won the Martin Luther King Essay Contest. Also, one of our juniors, Amanda Clayton, received a $20,000 scholarship from H&R Block. Out of 30,000 people, this scholarship was awarded to the top 23 from each category. Congratulations to Amanda for being in the top 3 of her division. OCC once again offered 5 scholarships to our young men to participate in the Man Up contest. DECA attended district competition. 6 of our students received medals, 5 made it to the state competition, and 3 students received first place overall. What an outstanding job. Our CD production department, along with our organization of Project Manhood, created a video entitled Charge Your Nation. This video displays all aspects of Laker, including our academics, our athletics, events, and much more. National Honor Society held a holiday party for young children on December 19th. The children were able to meet with Santa, decorate cookies, sing karaoke songs, and a lot of other holiday activities. Over 30 kids were in attendance, and the party was extremely successful. Last but not least, Jason Jones, the defensive end for the Detroit Lions and also a Lathrop alumni, was honored during halftime at our home game versus Southfield Christian. At the game, he retired his jersey number 19. 9 other Lions members were in attendance. His parents were also present at the ceremony, and we even presented his mother with a bouquet of flowers. At the end of the ceremony, Jones surprised everyone and donated $5,000 to our school. We are greatly appreciative. Thank you all for your time and have a wonderful night.
Ms. Aries Rutgers is absent today due to illness, but standing in for her is Ms. Leslie King from University High School Academy.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
As said, I am standing in for Aries because she is sick. Before break, December 8th, we opened up our Michigan First branch that is 100% student-ran. And we also had our annual student versus staff and alumni basketball game, which ended in a tie 14-14. This was the first year that students even got close to beating each other. One of my teachers, Mrs. Peete, coordinated a school-wide You Can drive and collected over 1,789 cans. The National Honor Society also hosted a toy drive and donated 772 items to Toys for Tots. Our second edition of the Soaring Eagle was published and featured many events that were held throughout the school. Our Student Congress is hosting a fundraiser at Zap Zone this Thursday, and the $20 ticket includes unlimited laser tag, glow golf, and bumper cars. We're also hosting our first regional conference on February 25th. Lastly, several students were selected to participate in the 2015 MSBOA District 4 All-District Honors Band and Jazz Band. Thank you for listening to the latest news from the U, and remember, we're nurturing tomorrow's leaders today. Thank you.
And before you leave, say hi, Mom. Thank you.
Hi, thank you.
Lauren Williams, this evening, so we'll move forward. We'll now move to the report of the superintendent.
Thank you, President Williams. I can't start my section of my presentation without taking a moment to celebrate with our community and to celebrate with our board. This happens to be, January is School Board Recognition Month. And we have a tremendous school board here, and I'm very proud of each and every one of them. I want you to know that school board members dedicate an enormous amount of time in the work that they're doing for the district, attending outside board meetings, all of the wonderful things, but hard work that they're engaged in. Attending school functions, preparing for board meetings. They're getting a lot of information several nights of the week that they have to read and digest and analyze and then think through to make, sound decisions. I'm sharing things, and so all that's good. Reading through agendas, proposals, and making a host of difficult and challenging decisions are just a few of the regular activities that our board members must participate in through their service, and that is it. They're providing a tremendous service to the district, to our children, and to our community. I'm proud of our current Board of Education. I'm pleased to be a part of that team, and I celebrate each and every one of you, and I just want to thank you so much. And a part of the celebration at the beginning of our meeting, we had cake and a little punch and all those things. So please take time to say hello and celebrate and let them know that they are truly appreciated, they're elected, and they honor the role that they walk in every day. And again, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. One of the things that I just wanted to share with our board and share with our community is that I'm proud to be a resident of Southfield and Southfield Lathrop Village community. A very important part of the reason why I'm so proud is because of our school system and the legacy of our school district. As a new superintendent, keeping a pulse on every corner of our community is so important for me as we continue to to enhance our educational programming and fiscal stability. Our homeowners, our parents, our elected officials, business owners, all have a vital stake in ensuring that Southfield Public Schools continue to be the premier district that our current students and future students deserve. I also would like to share at this time and to our board that I have asked 33 Southfield and Lathrop Village residents to serve on a panel to review a spectrum of data related to our current fiscal status and trends, instructional programming needs and trends along with the demographic data and trends that are happening in our community. I want our young families to see the Southfield and Southfield Lathrop Village community as a destination community and Southfield Public Schools as a destination district. I want to ensure that when a family trusts us with their kindergarten student, that we have a plan in place to ensure that the legacy of premier educational programming for our students through graduation continues. And at this time, I am asking the Board of Education to approve the convening of the Citizens Advisory Panel on School Quality and Cost Control.
And with that, before I ask for the motion, this is one of the greatest tasks that we can ask our family and citizens of the Southfield community to help us with, moving our district onward and upward. I appreciate the legacy that's been established from former board members, but we must do what is necessary to make sure we create students who will be the future leaders and will come back to our community and others and take their seats in a leadership role. So with that, I thank the Citizens Advisory Committee, and I'm now asking for a motion on Report 5334, Charge of Duties to the Citizens Advisory Panel.
I move that we approve the charge of duty to the Citizens Advisory Panel on maintaining school quality with cost control.
Support. It's been properly moved and supported. Secretary, call for the vote.
Trustee Joyce?
Yes.
Trustee Lewis?
Yes.
Trustee Poole?
Yes.
Trustee Robinson, yes. Trustee Smith?
Yes.
Trustee Williams?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Been properly moved, second, and approved. So would you please call the citizen, and once you call your names, if you're in the audience, would you please stand?
Thank you. And I will just share that if you hear the audience, they were invited, but they didn't have to come tonight. So we're just reading the names, and some are here though. Rosemary Allen, Frank Rock, Dory Bryant, Mr. Darrell Buchanan, Kim Calloway, Mr. Lloyd Cruz, Myron Frazier, Janie Fulton, Kevin Fulton, Janice Gray, Anika Hamlet, Gunther Harmon, James Jackson, Brendolyn Jasper, Sharissa Johnson, Michael Mandelbaum, Tanya Marcos-Vano, Hilda Margie, Tony Martin, Karen Miller, Wells Nicola, Tracy Payne Tellis, Lori Penn, Richard Powell, Greta Reed, Talisha Rice, Mary Seegers, Deborah Smith, Clarence Stone, Cindy Bale, Alan Weeks, Nate Webb, and Connie Williams. I just want to quickly add that they are all coming and participating. They may not have been here this evening, but I'm just so proud and pleased that upon the asking to participate in this panel and to help us as we review what's going on from the community's perspective, to share with the Board of Education their willingness to step up and to serve. And so I just want to again thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Do we have any other comments from any board members? Definitely will. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. At this time, I would like to, At this time, I would like to ask Dr. Michael Wyszynski to stand. And Michael, if you'd like to share a few words, you may most definitely go to the podium.
Okay.
But Dr. Wyszynski is our strategic plan evaluator, and he's also going to be the facilitator of the important work that our committee will be engaged in on school quality and cost control. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Wood. One of the things I'd like to mention, I guess it brings to everyone's attention, is we have quite a history here in Southfield of having citizens come together and study tough issues. We've done this before. This will be about the fourth time, I think, we've done this in the last 10 or 12 years. And I think a lot of us would agree that the last 10 years or so have seen a lot of changes in our community, in our county, and in the total area. We've seen changes that have affected school finance. We've seen changes that have affected school programming, testing, assessment. There are a lot of issues here. And I believe the mission of this group will really hinge on these two words. We're talking about quality. We all know what quality looks like, and we understand that. But also, we face a great many challenges in the fiscal arena. You don't have to pick up the paper every day and you read about some of the challenges we face fiscally across the state. And yes, Michigan and the economy has come back to a certain degree, but there are some heavy-duty challenges ahead of every school district in Michigan. And we're hoping to balance that to make sure that we want to maintain and actually improve our quality while being fiscally responsible to you, the taxpayers. So that's our charge, and we're going to kick this off on Wednesday, January 28th. We have 3 sessions scheduled, and we're hopeful that, as one of the things I've noticed is we have some folks that have been with us before, so they've been through this. So there's a great tradition here, as well as a real focus on, as our strategic plan states, moving ahead and really redesigning the future instead of letting the future be designed for us. So thank you, and I look forward to working with you, and we'll have a report to the board this spring. And again, it's always a pleasure to be working in the school district with the tradition of a fine Board of Education, fine staff, and a great community. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I just have one more item under my report, and it's really something that warms my heart. As you look around the room, the art, our children's artwork is displayed. I actually shared with someone earlier today, I'm going to be contacting some of our students and writing a check to their parents because there's so many beautiful pieces that I'd like to treasure if they're willing to share that. But I'd like if the art teacher from Stevenson or Bernie, are you present? Okay, not this evening, but I just wanted to recognize those 2 schools and the tremendous work. And at the end of the meeting, you may want to walk around the room and just see what our children are engaged. I was with a youngster a few days ago, and he was sharing with me what he had learned in art, and it was 3D. And so he had to then show me, draw out the words and create a 3D image, and he was so proud, and he had learned it, and it was wonderful, and that's what we're doing with our children, and I'm so grateful for our art teachers. So I thank you, and that concludes my report for this evening.
Good evening. My report tonight is contained in the consent agenda.
Good evening. The report of Human Resources is also contained in tonight's consent agenda.
Good evening, and I'm going to move to the podium, and when I'm complete, I'd like to invite Alma Dean to the podium and also George Chapman. Good evening. My name is Paula Lacey. I'm the interim associate superintendent for instruction. And this evening, I just want to review a piece called Positive Behavioral Interventions and Support. It's an initiative that's been here in the district for many years, but we're beginning, and we're going to expand it. As you know, our overarching goal is making or encouraging, grooming our kids to be college and career ready. It's time for us to go a little deeper. It's time for us to help and support kids to become internally responsible for their behavior, for their actions, for their thinking, for their movement, for everything that they do. I think I'm doing it. I'm going somewhere. Okay. So what is school-wide PBIS? It's a school-wide system for student success. The systems of support focus on proactive strategies that support appropriate student behaviors. Through consistency, positive school environments are created. Why is it so important to focus on teaching positive social behaviors? Well, we need to change the system of implementing punishment-based strategies. For example, reprimands, loss of privileges, office referrals, suspensions, and expulsion. We need to change that. It's not just a school change, it's a cultural change. It's a world change. And so instead of waiting for someone to do something wrong, we want to be proactive. We want to catch you while you're being good. Research says that inconsistent punishment without positive strategies are ineffective. I don't think that's what we were taught, though. I think we were taught if I catch you doing something wrong, if I correct you, if I reprimand you, then you won't do it again. Not so true. If you don't teach me the right way, it's hard to know the right way. Also, introducing and teaching, modeling, and reinforcing positive social behavior is an important step of a student's educational experience, starting at home. Starting, I don't want to say at birth, but starting very early at home. There are 4 systems that we focus on, and that's outcomes, data, practices, and systems. What does this look like in Southfield Public Schools? Now, mind you, there are so many positive things that occur in Southfield every day. Students make positive choices every day, but we need to go further. So what's happening right now, and this is just a few things. Counselors have developed activities that support helping students understand their unique qualities and strengths. The young lady earlier, one of the student reps said, talked about positive affirmations. Schools have posted positive affirmations throughout the school building. Some schools do positive announcements, positive affirmations every morning, and the classrooms discuss what their reactions are or their feelings. Schools host activities that showcase positive choices. PBIS Google Docs, we've created that this year, and the purpose is to increase documentation, parent communication, teaching, and learning. So not only a student might receive a consequence for behavior, but now we're teaching them what choices they should make and having conversation about it. And then professional development that supports planning, preparation, structuring high-quality learning environments, instruction, and customer service, because we must begin to treat not only our community, but each other in a more positive manner. Future plans, we're going to create or reestablish our parent university that supports parent achievement. We're going to promote and foster parenting skills that support parents as parents and children as students. We're going to standardize routines and procedures across the district and increase focus on positive behavior. At this time, I'd like to invite Alma Dean and George Chapp to the podium.
Superintendent, Cabinet, Community. I look forward to presenting to you a very brief update regarding our Technology Readiness Infrastructure Grant. As you may recall, back in the fall, we provided a presentation as to what this grant was. 8 of our school buildings were awarded funding to have teachers engaged in sustaining professional development regarding the implementation and the fusion of instructional technology with classroom instruction and pedagogy. We want to just give you a very brief update as to where we stand here in January. So just as a reminder, what is TRIG for the community? It is, again, a focus to help develop or improve a district's technology infrastructure. Part of what I'm talking about this evening and what we are as a division is how we're using these funds to help teachers grow in their use of technology the district has invested monies in. And so part of that grant money was to provide capacity for teachers to take courses, take training in blended learning, and then in turn being able to use that knowledge to not only improve their instructional practice, but also to be able to extend that knowledge by assisting their peers. And so again, going back to our district strategic plan, this satisfies our goal number 2 with instruction and goals number 3 with technology. And where we stand at this point is the 8 schools that are participating in this year's TRIG cadre are Stevenson Elementary, Vandenberg, Brace-Letterly, Bernie K-8, MacArthur, Thompson K-8, and University High School, as well as SRAC at our high schools. I'm very proud to report, after conducting, as a division, our mid-year review with these schools, all schools are on track to meet the mandatory minimum requirement of at least having 75% of teachers complete or begin their modules, which that has occurred. At this point, we worked with our regional coordinator, Jim Winslow, to establish very clear goals for the level of progress that would be considered to be adequate for our teachers to complete these courses. And I'm very happy to report that in just about all buildings, they have met where they should be at the middle of the school year in terms of their progress. And so where we are now is we've just completed our mid-year building reviews. Again, most school staff have completed at least 1/3 of the blended learning modules. And just to kind of explain this to you, there's 10 modules in this online course. The first 3 and number 10 are by far the most time intensive. So going through the first 3 modules, the first third is like going through the middle half. So that's a great thing. We are in the process of working with our IT department to finalize incentives for staff members to complete these modules. Those, again, were funds that were provided through the TRIG grant from the state. And also brainstorming ways to utilize and demonstrate the use of new learning with colleagues in non-TRIG schools. Again, there will be a future cadre 2015-2016 for the remaining schools that I have already been contacted. Several schools definitely want to participate in that, and we're hoping to have the remaining schools a part of that second cadre of TRIG. And if you have any other questions, I'd be more than happy to entertain.
Good evening to the board members, superintendent, cabinet, and the Southfield Public Schools community and families. I'd like to tell you about a couple of upcoming events we have. My name is Elma Dean, and I'm the director of the K-8 education here in Southfield. We have our Saturday school registration, which will be held next week, Wednesday, January 21st, 2015, and Thursday, January 22nd, 2015, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the Michigan First Credit Union, which is located at 27000 Evergreen Road, Lathrop Village, Michigan. That's on the corner of 696 and Evergreen. If you'd like more information on that, you can call our hotline at 248-746-4326 or email sdsprograms@southfield.k12.mi.us. We also have another upcoming event, our specialized school night. At Southfield Public Schools, we have 14 different schools and programs for you to choose from. We'd like to think that we have something that meets the needs of every family. So come and learn more about each of these schools and the rigorous academic programs we have. You can learn more information about our STEM programs, our IB. You heard one of the students mention today. We have a K-12 continuum for IB. We have an AP Prep, which services our K-8 students. We also have AP programs that are conducive for our high school students from 9 through 12. We have dual enrollment. We have online courses, international travel, Saturday school, broadcast training, television and radio, dance, drama, a plethora of sports for you to choose from, and many, many other things. This event will be held again at Michigan First Credit Union. It will be Monday, February 9th, 2015, from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. If you need more information on this, you can call 248-746-4326. Does anyone have any questions? Thank you so much. Have a good evening. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, we will not have a Head Start report as our Vice President, Ms. Yolanda Charles, is absent, and we will pick it up at our next meeting in February. Moving right on to action items. These are items that require action by the board. I'd like a motion to open and approve our consent agenda, report number 5335, personnel report.
I move that we open consent agenda report number 5235.
Been properly moved and supported. Any discussion? Madam Secretary, call for the vote.
Trustee Williams?
Yes.
Trustee Smith?
Yes.
Trustee Robinson? Yes. Trustee Poole?
Yes.
Trustee Lewis?
Yes.
Trustee Joyce?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Thank you. Mr. Smith, are you in the audience? Would you come forward, please? I'd like to ask for a motion to approve report 5336. That's approval of our Levy Outstanding Marching Band, Levy Marching Band Uniform Bid.
I move that we open report number 5236 for approval of Levy Marching Band uniform bid.
It's been properly moved and supported. Prior to discussion, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen.
We're at Grambling State University.
Grambling State University. Mr. Smith, would you please come forward and tell us what we have coming?
Good evening.
Good evening. This is our band director for the Levy Marching Band.
This year, we will be going to Atlanta, Georgia to participate in a couple events down there. But in 2016, we've been selected to go to Pearl Harbor to participate in the 75th anniversary of Pearl Harbor. So we've had these uniforms since 2010, and we've been attempting to raise money for the uniforms, and we thank the board for the opportunity. So now we can focus on the trips at hand. We pick worthwhile trips to give the students opportunity to participate with students from all across the United States, and this will be one huge event going to Pearl Harbor.
Mr. Smith, we'd like to thank you for all that you do. We'd like to thank your students. Our students compete against high school, and we beat them.
Congratulations to the new board.
Thank you.
Yeah.
After that, call for the vote.
Trustee Joyce?
Yes.
Trustee Lewis?
Yes.
Trustee Poole?
Yes.
Trustee Robinson, yes. Trustee Smith?
Yes.
Trustee Williams?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'd like a motion to open and approve report 5337, approval of the video studio upgrade bid projection.
I move that we open report number 5337 for the approval of video studio upgrade bid rejection.
Prior to discussion, Superintendent, do you have any information for us?
Yes.
Good evening, Ken.
Good evening.
This bid was for the monies that we received from the city of Southfield through the PEG grant. So it was for the video upgrade of the video studio academy over at Southfield Lathrop and the boardroom video here. We only received 2 bids, and at this time what we'd like to do is change the specifications. So to do that, we need to reject all bids and then change the specs and rebid it. So that's what we're asking tonight, is that you, the board, reject the bids.
Any discussion from the board? If not, call for the vote, please.
Trustee Williams?
Yes.
Trustee Smith?
Yes.
Trustee Robinson, yes. Trustee Poole?
Yes.
Trustee Lewis?
Yes.
Trustee Joyce?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Thank you. I'd like to ask for a motion to open and approve report 5338, approval of the editing lab computer purchase, arts and communication for the Arts and Communication, Academy. Prior to that, go ahead.
I move that we open report number 5338 for the approval of editing lab computer purchase, art and communications academy. Support.
Prior to discussion, Dr. Wood?
Okay.
Good evening, board, community, and staff. We've started this process about a year ago, working with the city of Southfield to upgrade the video studio at Lathrop in the boardroom here. A portion of that was to create a lab at Southfield Lathrop so that the students could edit the work that they've created either in the studio or out in the field. The purchase of these computers will allow us to create that lab, to give them that experience, industry standard experience of editing video. Being purchased off the REMC contract is separate from the bid that is going on.
Any discussion? If not, call for the vote.
Trustee Joyce?
Yes.
Trustee Lewis?
Yes.
Trustee Poole?
Yes.
Trustee Robinson, yes. Trustee Smith?
Yes.
Trustee Williams?
Yes.
Unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to information items. These items do not require board action. That would be report 5339 on purchasing report, report 5340, maintenance, vehicle purchase, and then report 5341 on bill summary. You can read those at your leisure. We will move into the public participation. The board recently adopted an amended policy on public participation. Only those persons with concerns related to school matters may participate during the public participation portion of a meeting. But we ask, comments are generally limited to 3 minutes. The board will listen to all comments, but may not respond during the meeting. Comments may be referred to the administrator or the superintendent for follow-up. As a matter of fairness, speaking with complaints against individuals are asked not to mention persons by name. Complaints concerning employees should be brought to the attention of the school principal or other administrators before coming to the board. Your cooperation is appreciated. Do we have any cards?
My dear board and audience and community, I forgot to make one important announcement. I'm having a coffee and conversation, and it will be held on Saturday, January 24th, here at JWE from 9 to 11. And I look forward to all of our parents and community that would like to come and sit and have a conversation with myself and a few others as we touch on topics about IMSTEP, as we touch on topics about school protocol for when we have inclement weather, as we touch on the Common Core and some of the shifts that will be taking place. And I invite all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Wood. We have one individual who would like to participate in the public participation. That'll be our past board member, Ms. Fern Katz.
Good evening. I'm Fern Katz, 27065 Fairfax, Southfield. I want to congratulate the new board members who were elected and the board members who were re-elected to the board. May you have a very successful year as in years past. I'd like to say a little something about politics this evening. This school district is under attack, as it has been, and we have survived very well. We are an outstanding board, an outstanding school district, and the attack does not come from one source, but we are right next to Detroit. And Detroit's school population has dropped to 47,000, I believe I read today. And they are getting a new superintendent, an elected manager, an appointed manager, Mr. Early from Flint. We have to be on our toes. We have to help Detroit as much as we can. Detroit is in big trouble, and we have the facility to help if we can. So I would just want to make you alerted to that and know what kind of trouble we're in if they let it happen. So, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Katz. We will now move right into board matters, and I'll start on the end with our newly elected trustee, Leslie Love Smith.
Good evening and Happy New Year. My apologies, don't use this mic. To my colleagues and to the entire administration, I want to thank you for your warm welcome to the board. I look forward to working with you over the next 4 years. To the community, I want to thank you for your vote, your trust, and your support. I thank you for trusting the lives of our children's plan. I do not promise to have all of the answers, but what I do promise to do is serve to my full capacity with integrity, compassion, and love for our children, the district, and our community. I will be transparent in my communication and accessible to all who reach out. As the mother of a first grader here in the district, I will always consider her friends, her class, and schoolmates when considering what I feel is in the best interest for her, because in my eyes, the success of one impacts the success of them all. Again, thank you, and have a good evening.
Good evening, everyone. Happy New Year. I'd just like to recognize several people who were very instrumental in my campaign. Roger Goolsby, who was a former school board, he was my campaign manager. Sheila Peavy, who was my treasurer. James Green, who was my web designer, the late Kaneko Carson, who was my PR director, Joyce Banks, Quantas Dial, Kia Glass, Pam Bard, who helped me out tremendously in my campaign, and Mr. Kevin Fulton, who was really, really huge and big at Southfield High School as he was my PR director. He's a fundraiser at Southfield High. But I also want to say that I'm very elated and happy to be a part of this board. I've been here for about 4 months now, but I have eyes and ears for this community. I work very closely with a lot of the schools, and I'm going to work even more closely with even more up under my wing. I'm going to work closely with the residents of Southfield High, Southfield and Lakewood, to make sure that they know exactly what we're doing and how we're doing it, because a lot of them are disengaged, and that was part of my campaign, was to make sure I communicate. I'm a communicator. I want to make sure they all know what's going on, and I'm a great promoter of this district because I love this district. I have children that had a lot of success. To have one child is still at Thompson, and so I just thank everyone for their support.
Mr. Lewis? I have no comments tonight.
Mr. Poole?
Yeah, I'd like to congratulate Mr. Joyce and Smith on their election. And I'd also like to mark this moment by congratulating this community. I've walked with you for the last 5 years. This is the start of my next 6-year term. And it was a very challenging 5 years. As Fern has so indicated earlier, we were living in the best of times, but we were living in the worst of times. I ran with Ms. Cassidy back in 2009 when I first was elected, and we were just entering what many economists have said, the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression. That was in 1930. It threatened the total collapse of the largest financial institutions in this country, which was actually prevented by bailout like national debt. Stock market dropped worldwide. Many areas, such as Southfield, the housing market also suffered, resulting in evictions, foreclosures, prolonged unemployment. This crisis played a significant role in the failures of key business in this area, such as General Motors. Declining consumer wealth estimated in the trillions of U.S. dollars, and a downturn of economic activity leading to a 2008-2012 global recession. However, in the state of Michigan, we suffered severely with job loss, high unemployment, decline in population and property values as well, leading to the largest bankruptcy of a city in U.S. history, the city of Detroit. In Southfield, me and my colleagues, and I want to include Margaret Hall, Karen Miller, Darrell Buchanan, Ron Katz, Wanda Cook Robinson. I've got to throw Jamie Fulton in there too, because Jamie was the one that got me active politically here in this community. And Dr. Wood, you were sitting in a different seat, but you were part of this team as well. Okay. Yet we were living in the best of times, and yet we were living in the worst of times. And here's why. When I first came to the board, and a number of you were on that board at that time, Mr. Lewis was here, Mr. Williams was here, we were facing a $27.5 million deficit. And we had our CFO jump ship. And Debbie Trimp jumped in. Okay? That $27.5 million deficit turned into a $2 million fund balance. In 2011, 2012, we had an 88% graduation rate. We're now well over 94%, and and closer to 95, 96% graduation rate. Now, that was compared to the national average of 78.2%, and the state of Michigan's graduation rate at that same period was 76%. So we were doing better in this community than the national average, as well as the state of Michigan. But if you listen to the rhetoric and our governor at the time, education was falling off, but not in this community. We had 4 Southfield public school students earn the Gates Millennium Scholarship. 4 in my 5-year term. Not saying I did it, but our community takes credit for that. Many school districts around this country never get one. We had over $10 million in scholarships in 2011, $12+ million in scholarships in 2012. I think, Betty, in 2013, where you were still listed as the treasurer, $23 million in counties in scholarship dollars, yet we're living in the worst of times. Southfield has been recognized for an exceptional graduation rate. We've been able to offer AP experiences to kids K through 8, and over 1,200 high school students taking at least one AP course. We implemented the International Baccalaureate program for grades K through 12. We implemented STEM education starting at the 6th grade. And I speak to people around the world, and the Indians seem to think that they've got a lock on technology, and they were bragging, well, we start our kids in high school on STEM. Well, in Southfield, we start leaving middle school in the 6th grade. Dual enrollment, where our students earn college credit with the district paying the expense. We're living in the worst of times, but we're living in the best of times. University High School Academy was named by Newsweek magazine as one of the best high schools in America. Award-winning national model for differentiated instruction by the ASCD, Association for Supervision and Curriculum Development, in which Ms. Katz actually accepted that award in San Francisco, California. I was at the table with her when she received that award, this one right here. Comprehensive high school redesign, featuring gender-specific core classes, 8th grade high school programs, and enhanced mentoring counseling programs. Southfield Public Schools had Superintendent of the Year in Dr. Wanda Cook Robinson, and was later shortlisted one of the top 4 in this country. We were nominated by the Michigan Association of School Board Association to be recognized as District of the Year. We actually got that award and was mentioned in the National School Board Association newsletter. We got past the millage of 2013. We had our first Nobel Prize winner in economics in Mr. Robert Schiller, graduated from Southfield High School in 1963. Most recently, and more importantly, we approved a $3.5 million purchase of e-books, instructional materials, and technology upgrades for students in the Southfield Public School District. We're living in the worst of times, but we're living in the best of times. On Tuesday of last year, November 4th, 2014, we went to the polls and elected a former Southfield Public School Board member to the 14th Congressional District, in that of Congresswoman Brenda Lawrence. Congratulations, Brenda. I'll see you next month. Plus many, many more accomplishments that this board, this community, these administrators, these teachers, this staff, these students, and parents have achieved. And again, we were living in the best of times, but yet we were living in the worst of times. I'd like to thank everyone for doing an outstanding job with the hand we were dealt. Let's all give ourselves a round of applause.
community members and neighbors, thank you so very much for your faith, your trust, and confidence in re-electing me overwhelmingly for an additional 6-year term on this board. I will continue to advocate for your children and make you proud for entrusting your kids to Southfield Public Schools. Thank you.
I'd like to thank all board members for their comments. Mr. Poole, you seem to steal my thunder there, so I will not reiterate what you just went through.
That's everything you missed at the last meeting.
That's right. He is correct. He is correct. With that, I would ask everyone to please join the National Congress of Black Women and our Southfield community, the city of Southfield, with the Peace 30th Annual Peace Walk celebration in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King on Monday, January 19th. A couple of tidbits here. Did you know that the city of Southfield was one of the first cities in Michigan to recognize Martin Luther King Day celebration? That's a fact. Did you know Southfield's Martin Luther King Task Force has held the largest Martin Luther King celebration in Michigan since 1986? So once again, I ask that you to please join us in celebrating the distinguished legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King on Monday, January 19th. Peace Walk will start at 9:30, commencing from Hope United Methodist Church to the Southfield Pavilion, where the program will promptly start at 11 o'clock a.m. And with that, announcements for future meetings. January 16th, this weekend, your board will be at a retreat at the Troy Marriott. January 20th at 5:30 will be a special board meeting with the school advanced training. January 27th at 6 p.m., student hearings. January 29th at 5:30 is a special board meeting. January 5th at 5:30 we will have another special board meeting. February, thanks for the correction. And then on February 10th at 7 p.m. we'll have our regular board meeting. And with that, I'd ask for a motion to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn.
It's been properly moved and supported. This meeting of the Southfield Public School Board of Education is adjourned.